Hello everyone, you are watching series of success story of Indian achievers and now we have Mr. Balaji Selvaraju, CEO Texello Automation Solution.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Welcome sir.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How about you?
I'm also good. Thank you so much.
Well,
So tell us about yourself.
I'm a serial entrepreneur and CEO of group of companies, and later became an accidental yogi. So in nutshell, that's what I am today. But if you ask me in terms of professional career, yes, I'm having about 23 years of work experience. I started in 1997. Of course, I've been electrical and electronics engineer. I started with a brief employment for about 2 years in that industry, then moved on to IT and software, where I have just had about a little, probably about 3-4 years of work experience in the employment. But then I had to plunge into the entrepreneurship due to certain circumstances. Of course, unprepared anyway. So in 2005, I became an entrepreneur, you can say a typical Indian middle class, conservative, mindset, family is what it is,
Right.
and from that you come up as an entrepreneur. So since then, I've been moving on with a lot of things and went through the entire life cycle of entrepreneurship and the business development and all that for the last 15 years now. So I started with IT software, and then I did a lot of work. I myself have delivered and consulted, audited, and trained across various corporates worldwide, over 20 countries, I would say. And then maybe in 2014, I happened to probably come across I would say an event which had probably I would say a moment of awakening, which
Okay.
turned my life differently. So since then, I just started looking at life and even the whole business in a different way. So as a spiritual seeker, then my interest was something different. So from the technology side, and then I moved on to maybe a different area of interest, like agriculture, organic farming, data science, analytics, and of course even now industrial automation just recently, which is that is what we are talking about.
That's great, sir. So
Yeah.
how this idea came in your mind of starting this?
Well, so as I said, since the beginning, I've been doing on something which is by force, I would say, by in the initial days. But then I was pretty much working on information technology, software, and those areas. Maybe after this awakening moment, which I said, then I felt I need to do something close to my heart, and hence I moved on to, as I said, moved on to agriculture and all that. Of course, I'm parallelly doing it. Of course, today I'm a CEO of 5 companies. So one of that company is what we are talking about today, Texel Automation. If you ask me, this came totally unplanned way. Just about early this year, we had an opportunity, and when this opportunity came to me, I said, I looked at few things basically, because this was not a new company anyway. If you look at Texel Automation Solutions, maybe as a legal entity, it is not new, but we inherited and taken over an existing business in industrial automation early this year. So basically, this company was pretty much known for, the industrial automation training and consulting kind of a business. But why did I pick up this? Why did I show interest in this opportunity? Basically, the reasons are very simple. When I looked at something, I have some larger agenda to accomplish as a yogi and as a spiritual person, and not just simply. Basically, as I said, I'm in both the worlds of spirituality and of course materialistic world. So I need to do something meaningful and still do business. then I looked at, basically the time when the country was kind of changing and transforming to be like Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and uh, Skill India, and these kind of things. Then I felt this has got something mass impact or a big social impact we can create if we can do some business on that. And that's when this opportunity came. I felt like okay, because I've been a frequent traveler to China and various countries. I've seen many countries. I've seen many countries, and despite of such a big population and a huge workforce of about such a huge numbers, still we are not at par. Not even at par. We are pretty much at a much lower level compared to other countries. The reasons are very simple. Basically, as I understood as a businessman and also an engineer, I felt possibly let's take about in our neighbor country. It is just today it is known as the world's manufacturing hub. Just for only one simple reason, as an engineer, I can say, it is the way in which they are doing things, the kind of productivity they have, and the kind of cost of production they achieve is phenomenal. Actually, it is just because of only automation. The way they do the work and they automate things and have the kind of a process controls that make them today a big leader, actually undisputed leader. And today the whole world is like totally in a different situation. So today when the country is awakening, and probably I would say it's an awakening situation with this COVID, where the government is also pretty much very aggressive in pushing these kind of
Right.
things. I felt that this is the right time for me to do something much larger than just doing a normal business. So then I felt like, okay, good. So maybe let me take up this business. And then from there on, I started kind of reinventing the business, and mainly whatever goodwill and the business this. In fact, the earlier company name was Excel Automation Solutions. So basically, Excel Automation Solutions have taken over this business and built a new set of portfolios. And I'm, as a CEO of this company, I'm interested to rebuild the portfolio and reposition the company, and of course, build a new products and solutions as well. So this is what we've been doing, and hence I felt we are more relevant today with the kind of economic situation, and of course not only economic, even very poorly, even every household today is suffering due to the kind of unprecedented situation. So where I
Right.
felt like we can contribute in terms of job creation, skill development, and of course industrial automation as well.
So, what are the major challenges you faced?
Well, as I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been entrepreneur for more than 15 years. So my journey of entrepreneurship has started sometime way back in 2005. But overall, if you look at it, the kind of challenges, I had to say that because of course Texula is recent, but of course as an entrepreneur, I have a very long story to say. If you look at right from 2005, one is that in India, even after several decades, we are still very conservative, and maybe due to the way we have come up, or maybe the history and legacy of the country, not like West, where you aspire to go and do something different. Of course, nobody is going to allow you. I'm saying even in the family or even the society as well. So you have to fight the odds and then come out of it to follow your passion. So this is something I've been doing all through, and then I moved on for last many years. But I started building some new business, new portfolio, and competing even very large enterprises as well. But then you have a problem. The next problem is the capital, and very unfortunately, I never had the luxury of very big investments, or rather, see, mainly in business, what is required is right capital at right time. You need to have the right capital at right time. If you don't have it, then it is probably you are not going to succeed. So hence we had to struggle through many things, and hence we had to move on to lending and other options, private lending. I mean to say, maybe this is something is going to kill the dream and the business, and sometime it will move on to do something more as well. Wherein I happen to go through that because maybe I would say maybe this generation is different. Maybe if I'm saying 15 years back, maybe the kind of ecosystem was not such that it will facilitate an entrepreneur, even if you have to do a planned entrepreneurship, still it was not so well. So you had to struggle through many things. And not only that, and of course you don't have the required knowledge. If you happen to go through a business school and then come do things, that's different. But you were not at all. I never haven't have done any management course or rather MBA, or never managed a business as well. but happened to become an entrepreneur overnight, and you have to go through many things. And of course,
Okay.
you have to stay afloat, come what may. But the biggest challenge I faced was the recession in 2009-10. That tested several thousands, and I would say lakhs of entrepreneurs. But somehow
Exactly.
I stayed fast with that, and then I sailed through. But anyway, things have to move on because we learn a lot. But today, after 23 years of my professional career, I think I'm a better person now with a lot of lessons learned, and in a very hard way.
Cool.
Yes.
So, what are your future plans now? Because
Well,
you
as
have
I
a very
said,
versatile portfolio.
yes. Well, of course, now we are talking about Texelo. So first, let me tell you about that. So basically, as I said in the beginning, today the country is very, I would say more relevant and appropriate to do many things. Because when you say Atmanirbhar Bharat, it's pretty much completely you have to be self-reliant in everything that you do, everything that you do, that you consume, and everything. So you have a lot of opportunity for business and on enterprises and even entrepreneurs to do many things to support our own country. I mean, the way it is required. So that I felt like no, we have much larger agenda. If you look at in Texelo, the moment we took over the business, it was pretty much known as an industrial automation training institute, or rather, a training company. So today, the biggest problem this country is facing due to the lack of, I mean, the earlier problem which I talked about, the production issues, the capacity building, or even the productivity issue itself, why we are not a very successful manufacturing destination, because we didn't have the systems and processes that could support this. And today, if you have to do that, definitely you need to have the skill development at every level of the workforce, and that is the biggest opportunity, and at the same time the problem which we see. And then I thought, okay, we can probably fix that. So in Texelo, we started in a division by name Texelo Academy. This is primarily focusing on building the required skill for the engineers and the people who are going to be working on different industries. I mean to say, even it could be electrical, electronics, or in the industries could be oil, gas, power, maybe pharma and manufacturing and everything. So by looking at this, we thought, okay, maybe by developing this academy, a tested Texelo Academy, perhaps maybe we think maybe in next few years we should be able to have at least about 50,000 engineers. I would say engineers. I'm saying the graduate engineers. We will be training and putting into the industry for the I mean actual use. But today, if you look at the industry is facing a dearth of skilled work professionals, and that is one reason today the productivity is so low. And moreover, today the kind of a cost of quality is so. I mean to say the production quality is. I mean, it's got a lot of, no, if you technically, if you have to look at it, a lot of waste, scrap, and things like that. But if you automate things, you just have very, limited operation, which has a manual intervention. If you have an unmanned solutions, then unmanned solution is most likely going to give you success and will produce a better quality of product. So this is something we wanted to do. One is on the academic side, the skill building. Next, by virtue of the post-COVID situation, definitely now the lifestyle and even the perspective of various, I mean, say all the stakeholders, right from the government to the common man, it's going to change. And you see today, even a very small thing which we never even thought of automating it, just even a small dispenser. Now you don't need to even press it; you just have to show your hands and get it. But the situation has forced us to automate that. Maybe it's a small process, but still it does. So this is something I feel like, if the country has to develop and move on to the next level, more than that, first to cater to this huge population. I would say it's a huge family of 135 crore people, and such a large
Exactly.
family, you need to have a totally different level of the. I mean, the head of the family should feed to so many people, come what may, and then there is something more to be done in the family. So that is what we are trying to really do it. And one is the skill development. Next is we will help automate industries, basically, particularly I would say MSME, because the kind of industry which I'm talking about, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, and I see that that's where the real opportunity for business. It's more of a win-win for both of us. One is that of course it's a business. We help them by deploying our solutions and products, and at the same time, a lot of businesses which will rather close or be a sick unit will be able to do better. And the kind of a closure rate what we see in the country today will not be there, because the productivity will increase and the cost of production will come down, and at the same time they're going to make a better quality product. So this is something I feel definitely we'll be doing this, and hence we
Okay.
have a separate division which will be focusing primarily on like becoming a system integrator with the large OEMs. I mean OEMs and leading brands like Emerson, ABB, Honeywell, and yeah, these kind of Siemens. So with this, definitely we will make a definitely if you look at the way in which we have positioned our brand Texelo, we just call ourselves the most aspirational automation company in India. And it is not just a fancy statement that we have just put it up. It is, we really mean it, and that is the promise we have made. And through which we are going to make a large transformation. You will be able to see the kind of a transformation in the next few years from Texelo. And definitely that is the promise we have made. And of course, there are a lot of new developments coming up. And there is a separate R&D unit. We are setting it up to come up with a very small, I would say maybe a low cost innovation, but it can touch many lives, can solve even many problems. So if you look at in China, why we probably look at the way it is, because they fix every small issues. They try to innovate, they try to fix something, they come up with some unique product. So that's the reason
Exactly.
the country was today like that. But maybe with such a population and huge infra, we could have done much better. So maybe then I thought, okay, we have a lot more to do.
So
We will
lots of
definitely
big
do it.
plans.
A lot of big plans, and we have plans to have a global expansion. But only thing, of course, we need to look for how we are going to be supported, because until now we are doing self-funding and we are supporting ourselves, and we are not even borrowed any even a single rupee. And I
Wow.
even and even the environment is not so conducive as well. So, but I would probably, if at all, say there is something to urge the government, please help such entrepreneurs. There are several people here to solve the government's problem. Actually, only thing they just need the right support provided at the right time. Yeah,
So, role of Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign in your organization business path.
perfect. In fact, this is what I just talked about initially. In fact, no, we are currently working with Skill India. Basically, even just this morning, I had a meeting with, a call with the vice president here. Basically, we are trying to work with government, the NSDC and the Skill India organization, where we get empaneled, with Skill India, and Skill India want us to train maybe at least 3,000 people or something in a given period of time, and basically not just very ITI or diploma holders. I'm talking about engineering graduates, which means today the industry and even the country needs a lot of specialists and a lot of industrial automation engineers or rather specialists, which are not currently there. And even if we have, most of the people would have flew away from the country. Maybe they are the ones who are supporting today in the Middle East. If you look at a lot of people in the Middle East, all the one who support oil and gas and a lot of other industries are pretty much are out of country. Same as you see it in the software. But today the country needs to build its own capacity. So that is what we are building, and the Texolo Academy will partner with Skill India, and we are going to be opening many centers. And here, and these centers are not just simply training, and the government want us to support in a way that they can as well get employment. So which means the moment they get the Skill India certification from the government through Texelo, then certainly we are going to be making, one is that we are going to make a better resource who is industry ready to work directly into the industry. That's number one. And next is that we are going to be providing employment as well to people. And that is the current problem today. Even before COVID, it was that, and now it is even more aggravated. So the job creation is the biggest problem, and even
Right.
to staff the right resources is also another challenge that we see. So what we think is that maybe with the government's initiative and next 3 to 5 years, for sure, we will be a revolutionary force. I would say a revolutionary force with the government to kind of skill development and capacity building that the country is looking at. And definitely, we wanted to be seriously be part of national building, and that is what we wanted to be, maybe a small role in the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and make the country self-reliant as much possible. But in terms of products and solutions which we are looking at, perhaps we need another 1 year to see how the economy and even the whole external environment evolves. Then we will be looking at coming up with our own products that supports our domestic market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say on winning Indian Achievers Award?
Well, I'm really pleased for this recognition, and I'm happy to receive that. And at the same time, I would like to thank you a lot for this, because I'm just saying in the perspective of entrepreneurs. Today, particularly the first gen entrepreneurs who come up like me, hardly they will get any recognition or rather appreciation until you get one thing, which is the financial success. But in fact, that's the truth. But unfortunately, what happens, this is how the world measures the success. The only one unit of measurement for the world is only money. If only you have brought money, then you are a successful person. But you would have done many things. You have given employment for 100, 200 people, and maybe contributed to tax for various governments and all that. But that's all separate. Okay, that's fine. But have you been very successful? So there are several million entrepreneurs like me, I would say. Maybe they just needed some recognition. It is nothing but just a motivation for them to move further, actually. So like awards like this certainly motivates us for sure, and definitely it helps us go much further and then take higher risks as well for others. So basically, as I said, entrepreneurs are not, entrepreneurship is not about doing business. Entrepreneurs are not businessmen. Businessman is different. To be an entrepreneur, it is a different material. You have to be a different spirit altogether. Come
Right.
what may, you keep moving on. You have the passion and perseverance. You must move on, whether at all you get result or not. Because it's not that you are alone going alone. I mean, you are going for you. You are going for maybe hundreds of people, maybe the employees or the family which is dependent on you. So they take much higher responsibilities and move on. So definitely, this kind of recognition, maybe it's a boost for us to say. Thank you for that.
Okay, sir. So tell us about your social contribution also.
Well, in fact, if you look at the other company which I'm talking about, the agriculture company, personally, I'm very much attached to the agriculture company, being a techie for about two decades. And last 2 years, we are doing JM Organics and Naturals. There's another company where I'm just trying to focus on alternate farming, which is something very, if my vision materializes, it'll open up, I would say maybe 1,000 villages can have their own livelihood without dependent on anybody else. They can have their own livelihood with their own self-sustained revenues and a kind of a quality of life. So basically, what we are doing is that in that currently my vision is to I mean, there are people with a lot of land, and of course, people are. I mean, even the human resource available, but they may probably, I mean, keep quiet, or rather, they don't do anything because they say water is not there, rain is not there, or some other reason or the other. But there are some people who wanted to do something, but still they don't know what to do, and they don't have any guidance related. So this is where I just looked at maybe this country we can probably do something much bigger and better. Then I felt like no, we wanted to build a model farm, and then because today if you look at the food what we consume in the country, it's not the traditional or a conventional food that's grown in the regular agriculture. Today if you take 100% of food in a day, what we take, more than 50% are alternate foods what we consume today. It is not the regular wheat and the rice kind of stuff. So and such kind of a thing, what happens, this kind of alternate food needs alternate farming basically, and this kind of alternate farming maybe it doesn't need kind of I would say in huge landscape and a lot of water and things like that. And there are many things we can do. So then I thought of starting with mushroom. So today we are a mushroom cultivator, and not the regular button mushroom, not a mushroom, not the regular button mushroom what we generally see in the market. It is about the oyster mushroom and milky mushroom kind of a thing. And this is something we will be shortly in a year we'll be India's largest cultivator in that. And this is not all that what we are going to do in our own farm. We are going to help other villages, other farmers who are probably, they have the resources, but they don't know what to do. And even to do, they probably need little support, even a small capital to start with.
Yeah.
Or even if somebody do it, I've noticed that in mushroom cultivation, people come like mushroom and go like mushroom. They just come seasonal and then they vanish, citing some reasons. But I mean, the reason is that even if somebody is successful, they don't know how to sell it. They have problem of the procurement. I mean, the marketing and sales part of it. And this is where JM Organics is going to come and support. This is not just a business. It is not just a business. It is kind of a CSR activity, I would say.
Okay.
In this, definitely, if we can just go with this kind of a networking arrangement, it will be a kind of networking of forms. across various states and countries is what I mean the municipalities and districts I'm talking about. If that happens, definitely there it is a win-win. And once we build and operate, then the rest of the life they can do it on their own, and it is all for them. So this is the kind of a vision I have it. And in fact, I've been talking to one of the government agencies as well about this. I said it's a national plan if you really take it up. But they said, "Wow, come on, wow! Then why don't you do that?" But very unfortunately, no, it is not that easy working with government and to openly to say that. We have to have a different kind of approach to do it, and we have to waste a lot of time in that. So hence I thought, okay, we'll do that, but we are doing it in a very slow manner, only from Tamil Nadu. We started from Tamil
Okay.
Nadu, and we are doing that. So after some time, we will move on to other things. And of course, in Texelo, in Texelo, the other CSR activity, what we are planning, we are going to be doing it from now is that whatever courses that we offer, there will be something for a very lower level skilled resources like ITI diploma or ITI and even further down technicians. We'll be doing some free training actually. There will be some, for underprivileged and for people who are needy, they will be having some fixed numbers we'll always offer for free from any of our centers. So this is something we are envisaging and we will be doing it shortly.
Okay. So, message to the new generation who wish to be an entrepreneur.
Well, I'm a very good. I mean to say, to give a good advice, I'm a apt person because to learn, it is always to learn from others' mistakes. So I have a lot of mistakes and a lot of lessons learned. I wanted to say a few things to people. Basically, entrepreneurship, as people may think, it is not just you start a business or own a business. Definitely, it is not. It is a very, very difficult, enduring path. So if people wanted to become an entrepreneur, then you must first test yourself, are you an entrepreneur material? Or you are just an employee material or a businessman? So if once if they find yes, I'm an entrepreneur, then definitely I would suggest them to start early. And start early when the mind and the body is young and fresh. So they will have a lot of new ideas and very dynamic and energetic, and not much of obligations they would have committed at that point of time. That's one thing. And next is that I would suggest them to build the pillars for their business very, very early. Because I've had about, and today I'm a CEO of 5 companies, and I'm running all totally different kind of work, and IT, software, agriculture, and industrial automation, and now data science, analytics, and maybe there is something else going to come up in maybe another 2 months. So if you look at it, until we build a pillar for each business, then it is going to be all dependent on you. And always, that one single person dependent business will not thrive. Even if we go sick, it goes off. So that is not a wise decision for the business to grow. So hence you build the pillars. It is not only for the continuity perspective. One is to get the required support. Because at today, even how much ever we learn, nobody is good at everything. Cannot become, master of all. So you can be master of few, but definitely there are other areas which we don't know about it, or we rather completely weak in that. So you need to complement and build a team configuration which supports the business at the right time. And maybe the next thing to say that I would say that's my personal experience as well. If you want to, I understand it's a passion that we are going through. And of course it's a business, it needs money. If in case we don't get the required fund, never even go for private lending. You don't fund the business or rather run the business with private lending, because it can kill your dreams, kill your business, kill your
liability.
dreams. Not liability. I'm saying it will kill the business, it will kill your dreams. Sometime it will go beyond that as well.
Right.
So it is so dangerous. And today I would suggest the country is very apt for entrepreneurs, and there are a lot of support. I would suggest them to just approach the government mechanisms, machineries and agencies, or even the banks. I'm sure definitely they'll get required support at this point of time. Don't jumpstart on your own. Definitely you will fail at later point of time. And just have some patience in terms of seeing money. They must remain patient. Oh, money is not coming. Money is only a byproduct. If you look at it compared to a business and an entrepreneurial path will not give money immediately, because you will keep flowing back for sure. I'm saying definitely they keep flowing back the money. Even though you wanted to use it, if you're a true entrepreneur, you will only urge to put back into the business, not take back from the business. So hence you just have patience until it goes to an extent. So don't be hurrying up and then no money is not coming, let's quit. Then it's not a right approach. So just be patient, but definitely world is a limitless opportunities. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and all the best for your future plans.
Thank you.
God
Thank you for
bless
the
you.
opportunity. Yeah, thank you for no. Thanks for the Indian Achievers Forum for this opportunity. And I would appreciate maybe I'm sure we will be inspiring few people who would be looking for such kind of success stories. Maybe if at all, even if it is not a very big success, but definitely there is something more to cherish about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Bye bye.